jellyfish wraps itself around the man's arm, and he is in instant agony. But he doesn't run away. He lets the jellyfish catch him. It's the most poisonous jellyfish in the world. The man is in extreme pain. He's killing himself. His name is Ben Thomas. Before he kills himself, he dials 911 to inform the police that he's about to die. He seems to want to be rescued again. What is Ben trying to do? Earlier, Ben was on the phone to a customer service agent to complain, but he hadn't made any purchases. Ben's tone of voice has been bad and has been losing his temper. The customer service agent is a blind man with very good temper. He smiled and replied to Ben's accusations, no matter how unreasonable he was. After he hands up the phone, Ben said the names of 7 people with sadness and anger. What did they have to do with him? Ben is a tax investigator for the IRS. He printed out a file on a woman named Emily. Emily had a congenital heart condition. When Ben went to the hospital, he didn't go up to her and talk to her, but he watched her quietly from a distance. Emily spots Ben and learns she has a tax problem. Having just been discharged from the hospital, Emily declines the investigation. Ben promised her that he would talk to her another time. The next day, Ben arrives at Emily's home to inquire about her income and condition. Ben's words offended Emily and made her a little upset, but Ben then said she could avoid paying the debt for the time being. Emily wonders why Ben would want to help her, and Ben simply says that she deserves it. One day, Jack, the blind customer service, was playing the piano in the square. Ben was watching him from a distance. Then he followed Jack to the restaurant. Jack chatted with a waitress. Ben went up and asked Jack why he didn't ask the woman out. He obviously liked her. Jack smiled sheepishly and said he didn't want to be a burden to anyone. Ben says goodnight and leaves. Emily fainted again because of her heart problem. She was admitted to the hospital and was very fragile. She wanted someone to be there for her, so she called Ben. Ben told Emily a story over the phone and walked from his home to the hospital. Emily had fallen asleep, and Ben sat her in the chair next to her and watched over her for the rest of the night. This man has decided to donate all his organs to others to make sure the person who gets the organs is a good person. The man quietly investigates them. Ben gave his kidney to a gym teacher. This old man is on regular hemodialysis to stay alive. After Ben's observation, he was a kind person. He teaches kids to play hockey in school and helps poor students regularly. So Ben decided to donate his kidney to him. Ben donated his blood stem cells to a child who needed a bone marrow transplant. Ben was willing to endure a lot of pain to do it. Not only that, he helped a woman get away from her domestically abusive boyfriend. He gave her and her children his beach house. Ben never asked for anything in return and never contacted the people he helped. He stalked a blind man, Jack, with the intention of donating his corneas to him. Why does Ben give so much of himself? It all started when he was driving home with his fiancée. Ben was driving that day. He and his fiancée were in a good mood. They were laughing and talking. Then a text message from work comes from Ben's cell phone. Ben picked up his phone to look at it, but was blinded by the glare from the opposite side. Then Ben steers hard to avoid the car, but then he collides with the bus behind him. Both vehicles rolled over and fell down. In the end, all 6 people in the bus were killed, and Ben's fiancée was also died. Ben was the only one who survived. Since then, he's been carrying 7 lives on his back. Ben suffered every day from a sense of guilt and shame, so he decided to end his life. Before that, he decided to donate his organs to save the lives of 7 people in order to redeem himself. The woman puts her hands in the man's and pulls him into a dance with her. Now it's dancing time after the candlelight dinner. They are as sweet as a couple on a date, but Ben is very worried because he knows Emily's time is running out if she doesn't get a heart transplant in time. Emily has less than 6 months to live. Ben was ready to give Emily his heart, but as he spent more time with her, Ben grew to love this woman. Emily liked Ben, too. Ben walked the dog with Emily and helped her fix her antique printing press. He went into Emily's home at night, studied it for a long time with tools and drawings, and it took him all night to fix it. Ben was an engineer from MIT, so it wasn't a big deal for him. On the night of the candlelight dinner, Ben gave Emily this surprise. Emily was so touched and happy, she couldn't help but kiss Ben. They fell in love. Ben came home at night and called his friend to tell him it was time. Then he called 911 and killed himself with a poisonous jellyfish. On the hospital table, Ben's heart was removed and transferred into Emily's body. Emily's life has been extended. Much later, Emily learned the truth from Ben's brother. Ben wasn't a tax collector at all. He stole his brother's papers to disguise himself. His purpose was to get close to the people he wanted to help. Ben gave his lungs to his brother, and that's how he got the idea to donate. He gave his liver to a woman at the welfare center, his kidney to a gym teacher, his bone marrow to a child, and his corneas to Jack. He gave his house to a mother, and finally his heart to the love of his life. Emily lost the love of her life and gained his heart at the same time. She found Jack as she looked into his eyes. Emily wept. They hugged each other tightly, expressing their gratitude to Ben. Ben once said that God created the world in 7 days, but it took him 7 seconds to destroy his own. If soul has weight, it must be 7 pounds.